You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
Well, hi again and welcome. And for those of you who are with us for the first time, welcome aboard. And I am so grateful for you all. I got to tell you, I am just overwhelmed by what's happening with this show. The number of downloads that we're getting is just, multiplying by the week, and it's beyond my expectations. So again, thank you so much for that. And what a lot of people are saying is that they really appreciate that I don't waste your time. And I've already taken probably too much time talking about that. So let's do this. Let's just get right into the material. And we're going to talk about something that is of tremendous interest to salespeople. I know because you tell me all the time. And that's one of the biggest challenges that you face. And that is getting people to actually reply to you by replying to your voicemail or your emails. And, I experience it too. The fact is, unless someone has a compelling reason to respond to us, our requests just sit there with all the others. They never move. Use yourself as an example. Think about the things that require your attention, the things that are in your inbox right now, things that are in your voicemail box. Including all of those where somebody is asking you to respond to them. And I bet that you're probably sitting on some that have been there for a while. So what causes people to respond to something right away? Or causes people to just put it off? Or causes people to ignore it or delete it? Well, there are things that are urgent and they get our immediate attention. And then normally the rest get prioritized or ignored. Now, some create that impulse curiosity, meaning that we are piqued right there at that moment so much that we're going to do something right then and there. I'll catch myself sometimes just opening up an email that I know probably doesn't have anything in it for me, but it made me curious. So I'll expand on those in another episode. Maybe I'll even do a major training on it at some point. But for now, let's just look at some of the things you can do with your messaging to get some mind share and to get some action. All right, so here are some ways to at least have a shot at moving someone to action. First is assuming that there's no interest. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. And I use this all the time. It's letting someone know that after repeated attempts to reach them, you just have to assume that this isn't a priority for them right now. Now, note that this should be used after you've had a quality conversation, after someone has shown some interest. Perhaps they indicated they were going to take some action, but then crickets, they go silent. And yeah, of course, we have some flakes that fall into that category, as one of my listeners called them. So what do? Well, you might say something like this in a voicemail. Mike, I'm a bit confused since I haven't had a reply after several attempts. And after our previous call where you were interested in, then you fill in the blank specifically, obviously, what they were interested in. If I don't hear back, I'm going to just assume that, then you fill in the benefit that they were interested in, saving money or making money, is not a priority for you right now. Hoping I'm wrong, and if so, just please give me a call back at, or reply to the last email I sent you. Next, deadlines. Many people, including me, put things off until the last minute. Oh yeah, sure, we've got every intention of taking action. It's just that we'll take all of the time we have to do it. And if there's no deadline, well, things can continue to be pushed down the priority list. With these people, reminding them of a deadline can light a fire underneath them. For example, Pat, quick reminder that the special pricing in that proposal is just good until the end of the week. Now, at that point, they do go back up. Now, I know you said you want to take advantage of that savings, so please give me a call at. Next, scarcity. If you have something that is limited, you want to appeal to their FOMO, fear of missing out. For example, we had talked about you taking advantage of the special release of the Reserve collection since you felt it would appeal to your audience. Now, we are down to the last 10% of the supply, and this edition is not going to be remade, so I'd hate to see you miss out. Now, again, if you're using scarcity, make sure it is real scarcity. Next, negative consequences. If there are any negative consequences attached to them not acting, point those out. It could be a delay in something that they want, them missing out on a deadline, or simply their problem continuing, which will continue to cost them or cause them additional pain. You might say, Mary, you'd mentioned that you wanted to get the training done in the second quarter, and we're already pushing that because of all the planning and development time that's going to be involved in that. Now, we can still do it, but I'm going to need to hear back from you by the end of the week. And then finally, we have moving forward anyway. Now, big caution here. This one should be used judiciously and only in situations where it's ethical. And what it is telling them that if you don't hear from them, that implies their approval to move forward. Now, don't get me wrong here. This would be used in an example, let's say they have an automatic renewal on a subscription or a maintenance contract or something like that. So you might say, Dave, I'd still like to speak with you about the plan that you're on that renews next week. Now, there are a couple of options we introduced this year that could be a real value to you and your team. It'd be great if we could discuss those before that renewal. Now, please give me a call or email me with a couple time options that work for you. And if I don't hear from you, your existing plan will renew as scheduled. All right, so to review these, we have assuming no interest, deadlines, scarcity, negative consequences, and moving forward anyway. Now, bottom line, people do respond. People do respond a lot. Now, if you want them to respond to you, pretty simply, you got to give them a good reason. Otherwise, they're going to ignore or delete. So adapt these ideas to your own prospects and customers and situations, and you'll find more of them getting back to you. All right, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be never will, never fear what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right, time for the quote of the day. And today's quote is from Zig Ziglar. And I could probably do a Zig quote every single episode for the next several years. He's got so many great ones. And here is today's, and it does apply to what we were just talking about. The top salesperson in the organization probably missed more sales than 90% of the salespeople on the team, but they also made more calls than the others made. And that applies to your attempts at getting somebody to respond to you. So the more you go to bat, the more chances you have to get a hit. Okay, so would you do a favor for two of your colleagues and let them know about this show? Send them to theartofsales.com. theartofsales.com. And I will be extremely grateful for that. Thank you in advance. And if you don't have a copy of my 7-step sales process in the free book, How to Place the Successful Sales and Prospecting Call, what are you waiting for? I want to mail it to you. This is an actual turn the pages book. No Kindle or e-reader here. This is actual paper that you can write on. That's right. I'm going to send it to you free. Just pay a nominal help with the shipping charge, which doesn't cover all of our shipping, but tells us you're serious. And this is good for U.S. customers. International friends, we do have an option for you there as well. So you can just click on the link below the order form. Oh, and you can get it at, probably want to know that, don't you? freesalesbook.com. freesalesbook.com. All right, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Subcheck.